Rich, how ready are you guys for game one?
Yeah, good question, JD. I think a little bit of both on this. I think from a coach's perspective, given the fact that, clearly we've had some players coming into our camp late and returning from injuries late, we'd love another week or two to get ready. But I think it was sort of apparent last week that the players are ready for a game, and training today, you could visibly tell that it was game week. The sort of intensity ramped up a couple of notches, and the concentration were there from start to finish. We believe that we're probably at a point now that for us to start improving more, we're going to have to start playing too. You know what I mean? There's only so many things you can keep covering in training until you go and play some live opposition and get a start point and get better from there. Obviously, we've had a nit out in a trial game. Our team will look a bit different this week, obviously. But no, I think, as I say, it was very visible at training this morning that it looks like a game week.
So everyone's dying to know, what are Gale's chances for Saturday?
It's Tuesday, so you'll have to respect, boys, when I say this. We've not named the team to the players yet and not finalised it yet. So, I'm not going to throw away, not for round one, especially where, there's so much conjecture. I think about both teams. So, I hope you appreciate that I wouldn't normally do it to you guys, but I'm not really going to reveal too much, obviously, about our team this week. We've still got another couple of sessions to get through yet, and still a couple of bits and bobs to finalise. And obviously what we know is our halfbacks have come in late, so that we're always going to be a race again time for round one. So we just want to tick a few boxes before we finalise that. But, I'm sure you'll appreciate now is probably not a great time for me to share what our team's going to be.
Keep us guessing. What do you want to see, though, from whoever does take the field? What do you expect to see, given the fact of all the different protocols, etc., the distractions, the injuries, etc.? What do you think you'll see?
Effort and commitment for number one. Effort and commitment, and try and build a performance. I think obviously something we've stressed to the players early days is you can have a good performance without it necessarily looking picture perfect from how, as a coach and as players in your mind, what a good performance and know what it looks like, know what it feels like. I think you've got to be prepared at this stage of the year to accept that sometimes it might not be perfect, and you've got to roll your sleeves up and make sure that all your effort areas and your commitment areas are working well within your system. That's sort of building your foundation, JD, building yourself a foundation into the game to give yourself a chance. You're obviously going in underprepared on the opposition a little bit because, we've had one trial game, they've had one trial game. The teams may look different. With the greatest respect, they played championship opposition in a fairly low-key game. So, we don't want to put too much emphasis on game plans. We know the dangerous individuals in the team, but we want to sort of make it more about our actions and behaviours.
How much are you relishing the return of the fans, which isn't that far away now?
Yeah, we're really relishing it because we're getting changed on the concourse. So when you're talking about home advantage, we're getting changed on the South Stand concourse this weekend, which does strip you of a little bit of home comforts. And obviously, we feel the Headingley crowd, or whether it's home or away, plays a terrific part for us. I think everybody's ready for that too. I think we did really, really well with all the circumstances that were thrown at us last year, but now. The situation looks to be improving. I think everybody is simply just counting down the days where we can get some rugby league played with the crowd in it for sure, JD.
Have you had any COVID issues to contend with?
We had some major ones when we first came back in. Yeah, we got shut down for 10 days. And obviously we had a fair number of players in one foul swoop. I think we only had Brad Dwyer last year, and then obviously we had some track and trace and a staff member in and around the playoff time. But then we got them all in one foul swoop, and touch wood since then. No, we've had a clean bill of health. So fingers crossed it stays that way this week, because we don't need any late changes for round one. Let me tell you.
And finally, for me, what similar question to what I asked Chris, really, but phrased differently. What's your barometer of success this year?
I think we'd like to build on last year, JD. Obviously came away with some silverware. We're up there in the playoffs. I think we felt as a club as a whole, we were disappointed, to go out of the playoffs first round, and we weren't at least playing in that penultimate game with a shot at the GF. Our sole aim is to try and build and improve on last year. And if we do that, I think, it's safe to say that when the whips are cracking, hopefully we'll give ourselves a shout in whichever competition. I would imagine there's a lot of teams feeling the same as us too. So, all will be revealed. I'm sure after round one, everybody will be, shouting the causes for some potential new favourites and writing teams off. But we know it's a long season, mate. And as I say, we want to build a performance this week, not just for the Wakefield game, but hopefully to build into what's going to be a fruitful season for us.